So as product makers or as marketers, we have to figure out what it is that's going to help first of all, got to have a really great product, but to help those end users, those decision makers, those buyers to decide that this is something that they truly need. And now they're on a mission to get, and whether or not they're going to own it is non-negotiable.
Right. And in order to get there, we first off need to understand the 5 key things that push buyers away or kill deals or, that really impact. And then along with that, the 5 things that really attract as well. So we're going to dive into that next, which I'm really excited about. So take your pen and pencil or paper or computer or iPad, hint, 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 whatever it might be that you want to be taking notes with. And we're going to get there. One thing that you talk about, and I want to set the stage for this, is the term dog brain. Explain that, because we're going to use it quite a bit throughout.
Perfect.
The discussion.
I'm glad. I was just going to ask you, may I go into a little bit of brain science before we do that? Because to me, this was really fundamental too, is these needs and how we process them and how we understand and connect those dots, how a want becomes a need is really something else that happens in our brain. And there's 3 main parts of our brain. It's called the triune brain model. And so those 3 main parts is at the bottom, we have what's called the central brain. It's the oldest part of our brain. It's where the basal ganglia and the brainstem reside. So it's kind of the small part just at the top of our spinal cord. And that's what we call the lizard brain. That's in charge of life and death responses. It manages, tells us when we're hungry. It keeps us from suffocating in our pillow at night, right? Because we know we need to keep breathing. So lizard brain does that. And then there's a newer part of our brain on top of that. And that's called the limbic system. And you'll find a limbic system like ours in dogs and other mammals. And if you imagine a dog's quick, impulsive responses and intense emotions, that's how the limbic system works. And that's why I call it the dog brain. It causes us to flee, get excited, pounce, or cower. And the limbic system is also incredibly fast. If I were to show you a photo of an angry face or a fist for just 2 milliseconds, your limbic system would be on high alert. But consciously, in 2 milliseconds, you wouldn't have a clue that you saw it. So, but you'd be fired up and ready to do whatever that next required response is. So the amygdala and the hippocampus are parts of the limbic system that manage emotions, memory retrieval, and really importantly, drive trust. And one other really important thing with the limbic system, the dog brain, is that as marketers, we talk a lot about dopamine, our happy hormone, that gets released when someone likes our new profile photo or when we eat something delicious or close a big sale. That's what makes us feel ecstatic and great. And dopamine is dished out by the dog brain. So,
right.
And
what I love about this analogy, first of all, my husband is going to totally understand right now why so quickly I will buy a Louis Vuitton like that. I'm just going to say it's dog brain. Just go with it. Anyways, what I love about what you're saying is quite often we talk about the fact that we've got on the trade show floor 3 to 6 seconds to stop someone. Why is that? It's because of the dog brain. We as marketers need to make sure that it's the right message, that we look welcoming, that they're intrigued immediately in order to come into the booth instead of making the decision to walk by the booth. As we're moving forward here in the discussion, I think that's a really important note, because take a look at display advertising, take a look at TV advertising, print, all these different methodologies now that we use to stop people. And this really ties it all together.
It absolutely does. And you're right, that's why we just have 5 seconds to get someone's attention when we're showing a video or with a trade show display, that we have this limited time frame to grab onto it.